What's going on, guys? It's your boy NTG back again with another video. In today's video, guys, I want to show you this gold trade that I took with the members at the academy today. There were some small mistakes that I want to go over and to look at so that we definitely could have executed this trade a lot better with this gold trade. So kind of disappointed in that live, but you know, we're gonna keep learning. I'm gonna show you guys all the details on what I was looking for, do some nice technicals. If you guys want to take some notes on some technical price action, that's what we're going to do. We're also going to be talking about some good psychology on holding trades, having full confidence. I have some of the members struggling with confidence, so we're going to go over all that stuff. This is all price action. This is my breakout strategy that I'm going to be showing you guys. So yeah, we're going to go over this live trade that I took with the academy. We're going to roll the intro, get straight into it. Let's get it. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and review this trade and also break down the strategy. So let's go ahead and start from zero, right, on what we want to look for. So let's go ahead and delete this. And for gold, so overall, let's talk about gold overall firstly and why we wanted to get into the buys in the first place, right? So if you guys have been trading gold for this week, the past weeks, we've been in a crazy uptrend, making higher highs and high lows. And the main thing to point out here is that we are at the all-time highs right now for gold. So buyers are in complete control with gold. So we definitely want to, the trend is your friend. So we definitely want to continue to get into buys on gold. So what are some other key things that we can look at with gold to confirm those buys, right? Because we hit the all-time highs on the 20th. Okay, so we hit it the beginning of the week. And then we had a nice pullback. Now, if you guys look here, as the market creates higher highs and high lows, if we wanna see where a nice rebuy area, right? Let's say you missed the huge rally for the buys here. Okay, so we want to be patient and we want to wait for the market to do a pullback. Okay, so we don't want to make a rookie mistake and enter the charts at the enter the market at the top, right? That's what most traders do. They don't know how to wait for pullback. They don't know how to use the fib retracement, anything like that. So what they'll do is they enter right at the top, and that's when we start to hit that pullback. So when is the best time to look for that? Well, this is why we want to use that fib retracement, right? So we want to draw that right from the previous high low here. So we were creating nice high highs and high lows. So we can go ahead and mark that up to our recent high low and creating our new higher high here. Okay, so we had a nice higher high there, high low. So we want to drag that fib from the high low to the higher high. And as you can see here, we had a beautiful retracement right in between the 50% and the 618%, right? So that is the zone right there. That is the buy zone. And this is the area where you want to get back into gold, right? In these areas here, we don't want to enter at the top. We want to enter when the market pulls back and buyers will like to come back and take control of the market. If you also look to your left, you can see that normally higher highs actually create resistance. And once broken, that resistance becomes support. So if you actually drew resistance here, you will see that the market came back down once it created the next high low, acted as support here. So we got two confirmations here of this. You can either use the fib retracement, right, for the perfect retracement, or you can simply wait for the market to touch back to the previous higher high so that it can act as support and rebuy gold back up. Okay, now I didn't enter any of these trades here. I didn't enter any of these setups, but these are some setups you can look for to actually get into gold this way. Okay, these are very effective methods. A lot of swing traders use this method to get into the market. Very, very effective. So I highly recommend you guys trade this way. Okay, But we didn't enter those setups, right? When we got onto the live for Friday's live stream for the academy, we had entered the trend line breakout. Okay, so I had a nice little trend line here that I was waiting for, right? We hit the peak, and NTG already knows market is gonna do a nice pullback, create some lower lows and low highs to create a nice little trend line for us to wait for the breakout. Okay, now let's dig deeper into the actual trade, right? So what we are looking for. So we were waiting for the breakout of this trade. Okay, now first mistake, of course, was, we were on the small time frames, so we had actually entered the break just a little bit above there. We could have been a little bit more patient, right? Because if you guys see here, if we had that resistance there, and so that engulfing here was a big sign that the market was going to pull back just a little bit more. We could have got a better entry there instead of entering here. Now the execution of this trade still did hit the TP, right? We hit the TP, but for some of the members, they weren't able to hold the trade throughout, so they ended up getting into a loss. So it was about, half and half. A lot of the academy members were closing out profit. Some of them couldn't hold just due to the execution, right? So the execution was not that great. So a lot of the members couldn't hold throughout. Some of them could, so that's what the execution was. And what could have been here was we could have actually exited early, right? Or just waited as well. If I had waited for the 15-minute break, right, which is that false zone here, getting into a false breakout, then we could have avoided that and look deeper into the smaller time frames and understand that, okay, we actually have a buy zone. Now, if we look left here, I actually went down to my 1 minute time frame because we had Fed chair coming up. So I wanted to be as precise as possible just in case we had to close the trade early because some of the members were holding with me. So to look left, you guys see here, we have a nice area here for support. So this is when I told the academy, I was like, okay, for the gold buys, this is going to be the last area here for gold to hold up for more buys, right? So now, mind you, we're holding in drawdown. So we did enter that trade, and we are holding in drawdown. So we're still holding in drawdown there, and the academy members were like, yeah, we're gonna hold the trade NTG. We're gonna wait for Fed chair. So Fed chair came out, and we came back to that support, right? And as soon as we hit that support, we instantly got that rejection there, which I wanted to see. So the buying pressure looked like it was starting to kick up again, which was good. We had a nice bullish movement here right before news had dropped. Now we were sitting around here in this area before we got that big impact news. Now I was telling the academy that be careful with your accounts because we got Fed chair, and that movement can be really bad if it does not go in our direction, right? So as you guys can see here, this is the Fed chair release with that huge big bullish candle here. So everybody was holding. Some of the members had got out somewhere around the peak, around here, and then some of them held all the way to the TP with me. And so yeah, so that was a pretty good trade overall. The movement was good. I would say the execution for the entry was not that great. Definitely could have got out at that false zone. You guys know my false zones that we have here. Definitely could have exited right there a little bit early. It would have been a small loss of like 25 pips, but ultimately we could have closed and we could have waited for it to come back, right? And if you guys pay attention to that 5 minute time frame, we had a 1, 2, 3 engulfing confirmation here to actually enter. So we could have re-entered the trade, re-enter gold right from that pullback. Okay. Got a nice even there. And we would have been looking very nice, 200 pips. Okay, so this was the better execution of the trade right here. So waiting for the pullback. We did not break on the 15 minutes, so it wouldn't have been a breakout. This is more kind of like a pre-breakout setup. that we were doing. But we should have closed the trade here and waited for the actual setup here. This was like around 9:50, so 10 minutes before news release. And yeah, so this was a way better entry. Could have been a lot safer. So yeah, but you know, those things happen in your trading career. When you guys execute things like this, don't, you know, beat yourself over every single little thing, because at the end of the day, you know, we're humans. We're not perfect, right? You're not gonna execute every single trade perfectly all the time, like a literal machine. It's not gonna happen, right? I was on stream. You know, normally we like to talk. You know, we talking about different things. We don't really talk about trading a lot. Like we're talking about cars, and somebody was asking me about bed sheets. You know, so like I'm just talking sometimes, and that can be small distractions. It's not an excuse, but you know, that could be okay. Like I'm talking to the members. Not really focused on the trades. You know, normally I'm 100% focused. But like I said, you know, the better execution was here. Ultimately, trade still hit TP, but, you know, we could have waited for that. And if you guys look on the 15-minute time frame, you'll see that we didn't get the break. But thankfully, we got the pre-breakout, because that 15-minute time frame, obviously, we're not going to enter that trade at the peak. I mean, gold just pushed 200 pips there, so we would have missed out on that buy move. So luckily we still were able to hold the trade and get into the move ultimately. But like I said, you know, this is what happens when, you know, sometimes you got to be patient with your setups and wait for it to show its true colors so that you guys can actually enter the proper setup now. So, but you know, I'm a breakout trader, so I'm going to enter my breakouts, and this was just the time that it retests and pull back to a nice buy area. But these are just small keynotes that I want you guys to remember when you guys are trading price action. You have to be, you know, quick on the spot judgment, you know, to correct your trade, or maybe change a position, maybe close, maybe you have to alter your TP based off of like news release or anything like that. You know, these are key things that you guys don't see in the strategy, and that's why the live trading is so important in the academy, because so many factors are in when you guys are actually trading. Like it's not just go on my YouTube and then like I explain the strategy, you study the strategy, and then you execute it, right? Because there's so many other things that happen in the market during that day, like the time, what session, is there any news release, you know, the pair. And then there's a lot of different types of candlestick confirmations going on in the market. There's just a lot of factors that you don't see when you are studying, like, if you guys are like studying courses or whatever, versus you actually like seeing the actual live trade and someone like execute it live and get into the trade and make on the spot judgments, because you're in a live trade. So, you know, there's little to no room for errors. So those are like key things that I want you guys to keep in mind when you guys are, you know, trading price action, especially for my scalpers. I know most of you guys are scalpers. You guys trade the lower time frame. So there's a lot of information that is going on, and all that information, sometimes it can hinder you, right? Or it can cause you to make mistakes. So we got to be 100% focused. And, you know, this is why I enjoy doing these live trades, because this is where it's at, really, to be honest. You know, you're on the front lines on this trading game. So yeah, but ultimately, like I said, this was like the whole setup. This was supposed to be like a 15-minute breakout, but you know, I wanted to go to the small time frames because we had a lot of news released today. Plus, I didn't want to miss too much of the move. If I had waited too long, then we would have missed out on this nice rally here. So, but just a little bit better of an execution, and it would have been a lot better for this trade. But yeah, that was the gold trade that we took. We did take NAS as well. That was a nice little 1 minute trade there. I can break that trade down too in a separate video, so we can go over that. Some of you guys were asking me about my fib extensions from the last video. My settings, I actually got to go to my trading view. My trading view has my settings there. All right, so for the next video, I'll show my fib extension settings for the next one when I do my analysis on trading view. All right, you guys. Yeah, that's about it. I started the futures, so we're gonna start doing some futures analysis. A lot of you guys trade futures. So I already started an account with Top Step. So yeah, I'm trading with them. And yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date on that. I'm gonna have a lot more psychology videos coming soon, so make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure you guys hit that like button for your boy NTG. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.